Good evening, everybody, from sunny Mykonos. I'm here in the Greek islands. I hope you're doing well. Okie dokie. I've got loads of stuff to talk to you about today. We're going to talk about consumer behavior, why buyers think the way they think, what they do, how they act, and try and get a good understanding really about the kind of habits and behaviors of people that buy. So I'm going to get you guys to come and join me. The people come on, there we go. People are, hi John, how you doing? All right, so people are coming to join us right now. So again, really important to understand this because I think so many salespeople just do not understand this at all. They don't take the time they need to. They don't think long and hard about consumers, the buyer. How do they think? The great place to start is to think about how you think. When you buy something, what kind of things are important to you? There's 5 really important things to consider, and I'll be going through those 5 things to consider. But think yourself, what do you, come and say hi, everyone. Hello out there, come and say hi, come and join me. Hi Lizzie, how are you? You're welcome on board. Come on guys, I can see a whole bunch of you in the background there. Come and join us and come and say hi, and please let me know if you've got any questions for me, anything you'd like to ask. I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm going to be here for the next 30 minutes or so. I'm on my vacation at the moment, Mykonos, Greek island, and having a lovely time. But I really want to talk to you about something that I find really, really important. Sherwin, how you doing? Hi John, how you going, mate? So what's important to understand a lot of the time is really the behavior of the buyer. So what are the 5 things that we need to remember, and really that kind of consumer habit that people have that we don't think about, the things that are significant to them. So when we think about those things, what kind of things can we think about? Well, one of those things we can think about is, number 1 is money. Hi Ruiz, how are you? You doing well? So let's think about this for a second here. When people are making money or they are saving money, so if you're providing a solution for them to save money, a solution for them to make money, there's a good chance if you're doing that, then you're going to understand one of the important needs that consumers have. Their need is cold and it's hard to some degree, but it is a consumer need that we consider. And if we consider them making money, then that's a good thing. Hold on a minute, I've just got to get rid of something on here. Gosh. Stuff coming through here thick and fast. Fine. So number 1 is money. So making or saving money is the top motivator for people. It really does motivate people to take action and buy a product, a service, a solution to one of their needs. And how often do you think about how your buyer can save money by working with you, how they can make money by working with you, choosing you as their salesperson for the product and service that you've got? Genuinely think about money as an important aspect, because if you can demonstrate, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Monty, you're on. DJ Swanee's on. Gosh, a whole bunch of you on. Yeah, come and say hi. Likes, shares. If you can share it to your audience, that'd be fantastic. I'd love it if you could share it so that other people can value this content as well, and that's really important to do as well. So if you share it, that'd be great for you too. What I want you to do is to think about this thing, money. If you show someone a way they can save money, are they going to want to buy from you? And my belief is absolutely yes, they are. So if you can show someone a way of saving money, great. If you can show someone a way that they can make money, if I could show you a way to make money, would you be interested in my products and service, and would there be a good chance you'd buy from me? As cold and hard as it is, the reality is that's an important one to consider. Come and say hi, guys. I know there's plenty of you out there. Number 2. Let's talk about security. Security is not cold and hard. Security feels different to people. It's kind of like, how would I describe it? It's soft and personal. Let me use those words. Has anybody ever complained about having too much security? Well, no, they haven't, and nobody ever does complain about having too much security. So remember, when you're dealing with somebody, the more security you can give them, the more warm and fuzzy they feel, the more kind of nice they feel inside. So try and do your best if you can to show a good understanding of the things that they value as give them security, and that really is a kind of warm and fuzzy and lovely thing. So we go from that money is a need, making money or saving money, it's cold and it's hard, and then we go to that security and giving people lots of security. And when you do that, you'll find consumers love that. They really love to have that level of security, the stuff that they're looking for. So take that into consideration. Hi guys, how you doing? You got questions? Throw those questions at me, your comments. Let me have your your comments. If you've got anything about me, what I'm saying to you today that you disagree with, no worries, okay? No problem at all with that. Disagree with me all day long if you've got that. If you want to add to anything that I'm saying as well, then please come and add. It's really valuable that you do so indeed. So we've got money and we've got security. So if there's three more things that we need to consider, what are those three things? Let me just get a glass of bottle of water. What are those things, okay? Everyone, number three, okay? Everybody likes to be what? Liked. So your consumers like to be liked. Being liked is a need that consumers have. They want to feel liked. Now, why do they want to feel liked? It's an interesting thing to consider, isn't it? Hi, Scott. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Ulash, you're out there. How you doing, mate? Come and say hi, guys. I want to see you. Thumbs up, love, hearts, shares, all that kind of stuff. The more energy you give me, the more energy I can give to you. I can throw the kitchen sink at you. I can give you all that I've got. And guess what? I do it with passion and energy. But I need something back from you so I can give you more and more and more. So please make sure you're getting out there and sharing this, you're liking it, your thumbs up, you give me the hearts, you give me the questions. Okay, really important. Hi Sri, how are you? Nice to see you as well. Okay, so everyone wants to be liked. Okay, they want to be respected, don't they? Consumers want to be liked and respected, and it's a really important thing to consider. Okay, your associates and your neighbors, it's important, those types of people around you, as a buyer, not a salesperson, as a buyer, that you feel liked and respected. It's kind of a sense of belonging, isn't it? It's a sense of self-worth. It's a value that people have, that feeling of being liked. And it's a really important thing to consider. So don't ever underestimate the importance from a consumer's perspective of being liked, okay? Really important to the consumer. Next one, status and prestige. So number four, status. You know, what kind of status do people have? What kind of prestige do they have when it comes to making that decision? We want people to praise our decisions, don't we? And so as a buyer, we want people to praise that decision and that status, prestige, that we made a good choice. You know, we buy that. A good example, you buy yourself the latest mobile phone, you buy yourself the flashiest, latest, coolest car. You know, people go around, what's the electric car company called? Tesla. And Tesla's a good example. You know, Tesla is an electric car, and on the surface of it, that means that people are going to save money by not buying fuel for an electric car. However, the massive cost of buying that car makes it to some degrees prohibitive for people that aren't using lots of miles. But people buy it because it's cool to have a Tesla, isn't it? It's status, it's prestige. And why do people buy a BMW or Mercedes? Status and prestige. You know, we go from A to Z the way we do. But why do you want to drive the really nice car? You know, it's not going to get you to the A to B any easier if you're stuck in traffic every day, but it's going to feel good to know that you've got an expensive car and you look pretty good in it. You know, it's that status and prestige that we have. So number four, it's one of those important needs. Okay, again, throw your questions at me if you got them. Okay, and number five, it's the importance of being valued. Okay, the importance of being worthwhile. It's that importance that people put on that. You know, both in our eyes, in the eyes of other people as well. I think it's important to do so. And you know, it's like, you know, going back to status and prestige. It's like we want praise for our possessions and our accomplishments, don't we? If we accomplish something, you know, bear in mind, not as a salesperson. Think about this as a buyer. Think about this as a customer. Okay, why we make those decisions. You know, the new Samsung Note 9 is coming out very soon, and I've got the Samsung Note 8. So here's my Samsung Note 8, and it's a blooming good phone. You know, I really like my phone. Do I really need to get the number 9? Do I need to get the Note 9? Or do we need to go and buy the Note 9? Note 8's great, camera's great. I can record loads of great stuff with it. I can take beautiful pictures. It's a great phone. My emails work great, or my messaging service works great. I can edit stuff on here. I've got a pen that works a treat. Do I really need to go and buy for £1,000 the next version of this when it comes out on the 24th, 25th, or whatever it is of this month? Do I really need to do so? What would it make me feel if I was going to buy that? How would I feel if I bought it? You know? If someone said to me, what phone have you got, Spence? And, you know, I've got the new Note 9 and they're sat there with the old Note 8. Will I feel like some sense of accomplishment? Will I feel some sense of prestige because I own that one? What about if it's the other way around? You know, you stop at the traffic lights and you're in your little Nissan Micra and a person pulls up next to you in a Porsche or a Rolls Royce or something, and you're in a little town car, do you always sit there going, yeah, you know, my car's got a better fuel economy than yours, you know, my car's better for parking in the city than yours? Or just sometimes you have that sense of inferiority sometimes that goes with it? And if you do, okay, that is exactly what you've got to take into consideration as one of the needs humans have. And that those human needs, if you can satisfy those as a salesperson and you can satisfy them well, then people are going to buy your product and your service. So it's important to consider those types of things. Who's got a question around that they might like to ask me right now? Who'd like to, you know, challenge me on that? Or who's got a point of view on that? So, you know, do you share that opinion? Do you disagree with that opinion? Hi Rob, how you doing? Nice to see you. Shared with every contact I have. Thanks very much, mate. I really appreciate it. So think about it, you know, whether it's a watch, whether it's whether it's a brand of clothing, you know, people go out of their way to buy really expensive clothes, you know, designer labels. Why are they buying those designer labels? You know, a polo shirt's a polo shirt at the end of the day. Why is it really important for them to have like some little logo across here? Okay, why is that really critical to them? It must make them feel something. You know, there's a test that over at NCAT in the university, the marketing professor did, and she gave these people 2 glasses of wine, and she said, what I want you to know is one of those glasses of wine is really expensive, that's that glass A, and glass B, okay, is cheap wine. I want you to taste it and tell me which wine tastes the best. And the simple fact was those glasses of wine had exactly the same wine in them. They didn't have an expensive and a cheap bottle. They had the same wine in. But when people knew that the wine was more expensive, they then decided that the more expensive wine tasted better. Go figure. Okay, go figure. Think about that for a second. They decided that the more expensive wine tasted better. Now, what's going on in our brain subconsciously for us to think that spending more money gets you better quality wine, okay, when it's exactly the same wine? We've made a decision just on what our perception, or they did, what their perception was, okay, those 2 glasses of wine. So again, we see this a lot. There's brands out there that have brand value. They charge a lot more for their products, but is their products made in any better way? Is it made in a better place? Is it made with better quality? Well, not always is that the case. However, we need to take these things into consideration. Just like when we're at the traffic lights and we're standing there, and honestly, we sat there in our car at the traffic lights, and guess what happens? You know, you look over, that person's sitting in their really expensive car and you're in your cheap car. Do you feel something different? And if you do, then you're feeling the feelings that consumers feel. And so you want to gain status. So when you're selling something to somebody, you've got to take this into consideration. So can you make the money? Can you save the money? Can you give them security? It's an important thing. Is there a way that they'll be liked more if they make that type of decision? So if you're selling something to a company, okay, well, the decision maker that buys your products, you know, when he knows that the product he's buying is going to make everybody in the company happy, okay, is that a need that they have? And yes, it is. And is your product and service doing that? And you're thinking that through. Your status and prestige, you know, are we understanding that in enough detail? Does it give the buyer status to buy our product and service? Does it give them prestige to buy our product and service? And it doesn't matter what you're selling, you know, whether you're selling network marketing products, you know, cheap and cheerful isn't what people always go for. That's proof of that is in the world that we exist today. You know, 2 like-for-like hotels, okay, if they're exactly the same hotels and one's cheaper and one's more expensive, then you're going to go to save money and think about that. But if something is offered, oh, there's better quality of food here, or you know, the celebrities stay at this hotel. This is a hotel that people love to stay at because celebrities come here, you know, and they come here and they come and eat here, and this is the place to be seen. You know, the paparazzi are always here because they're taking photographs of all these cool people that come and stay at this hotel. Well, maybe you'll be thinking, you know, more as a buyer about that type of thing. So how can you satisfy that? Hi Emma, how are you? How can you satisfy that? Important thing to consider. I've got some questions that have come through over the last few days about this subject. So let's just talk about this for a second with these questions. I'll answer them for you. Let's get them open here. Okay, so it's really interesting. You know, if you've got questions for me, please ask questions. Okay, I want you to ask questions. Think about those 5 things. Think about your business. And what I want you to do is ask questions. Okay, Mohammed, how you doing? Kieran, how are you? Donna, how are you? Nice to see you on. Okay, tell me, okay, if you've got questions around these 5 needs that human beings have, consumer needs that people have, if you've got questions around them, you've got points of view, then share that with me, let me know, and I'll gladly help and deal with that with you. But these are the things that are really important. And so often as salespeople, we're thinking about what we can do and what we're going to give, and we think about how we're going to close that person and we're going to make that sale, and we're thinking all about it from our perspective, but we're not trying to understand the buyer, the consumer. We're not trying to understand that person or that company. We're not trying to understand how they think. We're not trying to understand what matters to them. What we're trying to do is to make a sale all of the time so that we can think about what happens to us if we make that sale. But if we're to satisfy people's needs, and those 5 needs are taken into consideration, so for those of you that just joined, okay, the 5 needs: money, okay, making it or saving it. Number 2, security. Okay, everybody wants security. Okay, it's warm and fuzzy inside. On top of that, being liked. Everybody wants to be liked for making a good decision. Okay, number 4, okay, prestige and status. Really important thing to consider. Number 5, okay, the importance of being valued and worthwhile. Okay, so if we can get those 5 things and we're clear on that, those 5 that just joined, okay, then we're in a good place. Okay, some questions that we've got while I'm over here are in sunny Mykonos. I'll be home very soon, by the way. So for all of my corporate clients, all my retail clients that are out there, guys, I'm back off my holidays and be back into the office in a few days' time. So I'll be glad to catch up with you from then. And I hope you're having a great summer yourself. Okay, so we've got some questions here. Let's go through these questions. I've got loads of them. Bloody hell. Right. Joe Harper from Dubai. Hi, Joe. How you doing? I hope you're well. Here's a question from you and your answer. I'm able to sell anything to anyone as I probably could sell ice to an Eskimo. All right, that's quite confident of you, Joe. For some reason, I'm off my game recently and not closing as many deals. I was recently told by a client that I just don't understand her situation and that I'm no longer the man for the job. How do I go about proving that I do indeed understand my client's needs? Well, this is the interesting thing. Your client isn't necessarily going to say to you what their needs are. They're not necessarily just going to say, my needs are these, you must understand them. It's your job as a professional salesperson to take it really seriously in terms of being a professional yourself. Now, how much time have you spent learning about consumer needs and consumer behavior? How much time have you spent learning about how the buyer thinks and what things are important to them? This has obviously come, Joe, because you haven't spent a lot of time doing that. My advice would be to take some time to learn that. Okay, if you come to the Make It Happen University, you can find that out yourself. Okay, or by all means, I'm more than happy to help you if you want me to be coaching you to get that better for you. But if that one client said it, how many others might be thinking about it? It might be a short, sharp shock to the system. And if it is, not a bad thing, you know, that's really cool if it is a sharp shock to the system, you know. If it is you going, oh my goodness, this hasn't happened to me before, it just happened now, I don't know what to do about it, but at least you're aware of it and we can start to get involved in understanding it better. I would go back to this person, this client that you talk about here, and I would try and learn more about them. I would try and learn more about what they value. I'd try and get involved in understanding a little bit better about the things that are important to that particular person. Maybe they'll open up and they'll share some more with you. But again, it's for you to determine, you know, are you giving them enough security? Do they get enough significance? Is there enough prestige in working with you? Okay, are you saving the money? Are you making the money? Are they feeling valued? Are they feeling valued and worthwhile? Is that something they're feeling? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Okay, those things are important to get to the bottom of. Hi, Donna, guys. So come on. Taylor's on here as well. Hi, Taylor. How are you? Okay, Gina Sky from Bryanston down in South Africa. Hi, Gina. How are you? Hope you're well. Gina's question is, I'm going to get right to the point here. Thanks, Gina. Is it normal to be treated badly by clients? I work on a schedule, and for the past few months, people either cancel meetings with me last minute, rock up insanely late, or just don't pitch. When I eventually get hold of them, they say, I'm sorry, I'm incredibly busy. Well, so am I. You know, Gina, you're great. Well, so am I. How do I prevent this from happening, and how do I get my clients and prospects to respect me more? The best way to be respected is to be respectful. Okay, so are you respectful to your prospects and clients? Understand that their time is important. And if they don't respect that your time is important, they don't have a level of respect from you. What happens a lot in sales, there's this kind of this playing field where I believe every salespeople should be on a level playing field with their prospect or their client. But a lot of salespeople fall into this category where they hold the client or the customer higher than they hold themselves, and it's almost like a an Oliver Twist type. Can I have some more? Please, sir, can I have some more? In the movie Oliver Twist, when he wanted some more food, it's that please, sir scenario where that buyer feels that they're more important, or their time is more important than yours. And if that ever happens, you're in a sticky place, because that should never happen. A sale should be a win-win situation. At the end of the day, when I started selling, I had this problem as well. I had a few people out there when I started selling, and do you know what happened? This is where it really affected me a lot. I was living in Sao Paulo in Brazil in the mid-90s, and I was there and I was selling to Brazilians, and they wouldn't show up for the meeting. A 2 p.m. meeting meant that they'd show up at 2:30, and it used to drive me mad. They wouldn't even apologize. So what I used to say is I used to preempt it. I'd say, Mr. Prospect, I'm sure you're a busy guy and your time's busy. Can I just confirm that is? And they're like, yes, absolutely it is. Oh, great. That's no problem at all. Look, I'm a British person, and in England, where we come from, if we say we're going to be at someone's office at 2 p.m, we'll be there at 10 to 2, and we won't be late, and we'll make sure we're ready for the meeting 5 minutes before. Now, that's what happens in my country where I come from. Can I just ask for you, the kind of person that you are, if you say you're going to meet me at 2 p.m, what does that mean for you? Does that mean 2 p.m, 2:30, 3 o'clock? What does it mean for you? And typically the person would always say, no, I'll be with you at 2 p.m. Great. Okay, so I don't need to call and confirm this. I just need to be with you 10 minutes before. Okay, ready for you at 2 p.m. on the dot to get started. Brilliant. Okay, I know we won't waste each other's time. And what you'd find then is you'd never have that type of problem, because they could see that you were a serious professional and you were on that level, as opposed to being down or then being up and in a different situation. So hopefully that can help you. Okay, if it can't, then let me know, Gina, and I'll try and go into some more detail with you. I've got so many questions on here, guys. Okay, where's my likes? Where's my love hearts? Where's my engagement? Guys, I need you to give me something back. Okay, give me something so I can give you my energy. If you're just sitting there staring at the screen, I need more, okay, so that I can give you more. Come on, I'm going to be much better if you give me some more in return. So let's get those love hearts, let's get those ticks, let's get those shares. Mark shared, guys, share, and it would be really great if you could. Connor O'Brien from Dublin. Okay, how many meetings should it take with a prospective client until they sign? I've met with a lady 6 times now about financial services plans for her, but she's never happy to sign at the end of the meeting. I'm forced to schedule yet another meeting with her. When is enough enough? Okay, and how can I prevent prospective clients from wasting my time? Well, that's a little bit like laying ground rules down in all that we do. If you don't lay ground rules down in a marriage, then the rules will be vague. If you don't lay ground rules down in the meeting that you have, the first meeting you have with your prospect, then it will be vague. That person needs to know what to expect from you at the outset. They need to know what the terms of engagement are, the terms of business are. If they're going to be talking to you, what's expected of them and what's expected of you. That's creating that significance. Are you showing them, go to their needs? Are you showing them a way to save or make money? Are you showing them, okay, a way to feel secure? Maybe that person just doesn't feel secure. Are you showing them a way so that they feel valued and they feel liked and they feel there's some prestige and benefit to being attached to you? If you're not showing them those things, they're not going to be satisfied. Then guess what? You're not going to make a sale. Okay, you really need to make sure that the client's clear. So with this example, I'd go back to the drawing board and I'd start again with that prospect. Or, okay, I'd say to myself, do you know what? Not going to get anywhere with this one. I'm going to just pass and move on to the next one, because it doesn't always work. Okay, guys, come say hi. John, how you doing? Joanna, how are you? Monte Cristo, boom. Nice to see you. James Gormley's on. Maurice, Donna, come on, guys, ask me questions. I want some questions from you. Come on, I'm on holiday and I'm still doing my work for you guys. Come on, I'm on my vacation and I'm taking time out to do this. Show me the love, give me the engagement, and I'll make sure I deliver as much as I can for you. Okie dokie. Danny Keats from London. All right, Danny, how are you? Okay, is it just me, or is it impossible to sell products and services without having to give a discount these days? Wow, hold on a minute, Danny, mate. What kind of a line's that? Okay, is it just me, or is it impossible to sell products and services without having to give a discount these days? Discount? Whenever I meet a prospective client, they refuse to sign with me until I've given them a better deal than they would get from my competitors. Sometimes I don't even believe them when they say that they can get it cheaper elsewhere, but they seem dead set on not signing until I give them a discount. What do I do? Danny, great question. Let's answer that question. Anybody out there got an answer to that question for me? There's a whole bunch of you on here right now. Who do you think has got an answer for me out there? Let me tell you what the answer to that is, Danny. You're looking at price as opposed to value. You're focused on what the cost is, or your buyer's focused on what the cost is, okay, as opposed to what it's worth to them. What's the value to your buyer? Again, you haven't built the right level of rapport. You haven't built the right level of trust and credibility. Think about the 5 needs. Okay, are you saving on making them money? Are you making them feel secure? Are they feeling liked by making these types of decision? Is it a good decision? Are they getting some status and prestige? Okay, is there some value? Okay, and is it worthwhile for them? If those needs dealt with, then you're going to get into some kind of bidding war where they're not buying from you, they're just buying on price. They don't care who you are. Well, you've created that scenario, so try and think about your buyers, because guess what? You don't have to discount anything to anyone ever if you offer more value than the price. So, I don't know, these sunglasses, for example, I bought these sunglasses. Now, they were worth more to me than the money I had in my hand before I bought the sunglasses. So, they were worth more than the money I had in my hand, to me. They may not be to somebody else, but to me they were. So I saw the value in having these sunglasses. Now, it's the same as anything. Whatever you buy, you see the value as being more than the money you're exchanging for that product or service. So think about that. Okay, do you offer value? Okay, are you dominating your market? Do you understand what your competitors are doing? Are you aware of what they're doing? Okay, if you're not, you need to look into it. Yvonne Bruce from Dubai. Hi, Yvonne, how are you? Is it really possible to close everyone using a certain method? I usually wing my meetings, and then depending on the response I get from the person, I'll try to close them. But my boss seems to think that I should stick to a set sales process. Does this really work better? Well, Yvonne, if you're a genius, then you can sell to everybody. If you can wing it like nobody else on the planet can, then you can sell to everybody. But frankly, I think that's a load of rubbish. Okay, my feeling is, if I'm really honest with you, is that you need a sales system to follow. You need to understand consumer behavior so that you can satisfy consumer needs, consumer expectations. You need a sales process to stick to. If we go back to the last question I've got, okay, about discounts, that's because Danny doesn't have a process. Connor's question, okay, met a lady 6 times now selling financial services and hasn't got anywhere. He hasn't got a system, a bulletproof system in place. So imagine, Yvonne, you're going down a corridor and there's lots of doors that are ajar down the corridor. You have to be in front of your prospective client, shutting those doors so the client can't run out of them. So consider that with what you're doing. The more process driven you are, the better you're going to be. That doesn't mean you don't use your personality. It doesn't mean you don't use your charm and you don't woo people with, you know, loads of great enthusiasm and passion and charisma. No, absolutely, those things are important too, but you don't wing it. Okay, it's really important to know whatever objection may come your way, whatever situation may come your way, you know exactly how to handle it. But even better, you know when that objection is going to come because you've built it into the process that you've systemized and developed with your boss in this case. So Yvonne, that would be my answer to that question. Hopefully that helps. Okay, anybody else out there? Come on, guys, come and say hi. Danny Aggs on, James Spencer's on. How you doing, James? Hope you had a great holiday, mate. Right, Karen Roberts from New York. Hi, Karen, how are you? All right, here we go. What's the quickest way to understand a buyer or a client? I don't want to waste anyone's time, including my own. So it'd be great if I could share some questions. It's great if you could share some questions to ask in order to ascertain a client's wants, needs, and basic psychology within the first 10 minutes of a meeting. I mainly sell retirement plans. Okay, Karen. Let's just read that out again for everyone. You listen to this, everyone. Okay, I find this quite interesting. What's the quickest way to understand a buyer or a client? I don't want to waste anyone's time, including my own. Okay, first of all, Karen, wind your neck in. Okay, waste your time, and understand you might not want to waste your time, but you essentially are approaching people to try and market your product and your service. And if you're approaching them, you need to think about the fact that you are approaching them. They haven't come to you, okay? Now, if you're approaching them, then you need to think about not wasting time, but investing your time. Now, if you believe in what you sell, which is financial services products, retirement plans, you say, now, do you believe deep down in here that retirement plans are really worthwhile and valuable? Some people do, some people don't. Some people sell products like that just to make money. Do you really believe they're valuable? Do you believe retirement plans are going to make a big difference to people's lives? If you do, that's a great place to start from. Then we come back to the needs. Let's establish the needs, the human needs, and remember what those human needs are. Have you, within your product or service, got a way of saving people money? Have you got a way of making people money? Have you got a way of making them feel secure? Have you got a way of making them feeling liked? Okay, if you have prestige, okay, and status, do they get prestige and status if they do that? Well, yeah, well, guess what? Because most people are going to retire without enough money. So bear in mind those things when you meet somebody for the first time. But the way you learn about anybody is to ask as many open-ended questions as you can, which is an area I've covered so many times before. Okay, how many times have you gone into your presentation and talked a lot? So many salespeople, rabbit, 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 rabbit. They're not asking questions and listening to the answers so that they can learn about the prospect. You and the person that you meet, you've never met before, you sit down for the first time. You've got to establish some rapport. You've got to establish common ground. You've got to establish some form of relationship. Nobody knows whether they're going to buy from you at the very beginning. They want to see what value you can bring to them. The buyer is sitting thinking, what can that person bring for me? What can they do for me? They don't establish in 30 seconds, right, I'm going to buy everything this person's selling me. So take this into consideration and take it really, really seriously. I think you should. Okay, hi guys. Come on guys, got more questions. Lizzie, there's a question from you. Bear with me a second, hon. Okay, what have we got here? Mark Kaufman from Berlin. This is the last one I'm going to do. We've been going for half an hour. Okay, Mark says, I just started working from home selling leadership courses and seminars, essentially selling others the lifestyle that I now have, as they'll also be able to work from home. It usually involves some social media advertising, and then once I find my leads, I call them to try and convert them to join this business. Okay. Thing is, I'm not meeting with them face to face, so it's very tricky to get a sense of how they feel or whether or not they're comfortable. I haven't had much luck with this business yet. Most people just say that it's a pyramid scheme and then hang up. How do I manage to convert them over the phone? Is this possible? Okay. So you're using social media to get your leads. So people from your social media marketing are interested in your product and service. So from the moment you speak to them, immediately from your marketing, they're interested in what you do. Now, as long as your marketing isn't misleading and they're not thinking they're learning about something that's different from what you're trying to sell, and so let's hope you don't do that, okay, and you focus on making sure that your marketing is geared around how you can teach people whatever it is you want to teach them, but it's a genuine marketing strategy, then they're a lead, so they're interested in your products and service. If they're then interested in your products and service, then they become disinterested in your products and service straight away. Then you really have got to think about what your presentation is when you speak to them over the telephone. Now, again, nowadays, so much technology exists that you don't even need to have phone calls. You can have face-to-face calls like you're watching me right now. You can do it with Skype and WhatsApp and blah, 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 all these other tools out there. I'd much rather have that type of conversation with someone, just the telephone, so I can see their face and their eyes and they're engaged and we're talking to each other so we can see each other and see how we're expressing ourselves. I'd start by asking questions. Learn about that person, build some rapport with that person, understand what it is they're interested in, why they're interested in it, understand what value it would bring to them, what the benefit they feel that they would get from using it, okay? Rather than doing what a lot of people do is just tell, and then they turn the buyer off, okay? The buyer's then turned off and then the sale is lost. So I think that that's what happens a lot of the time. Okay, Lizzie's asked me a question, how do you handle a difficult client? Again, compassion, great way. Okay, don't go toe to toe when you're dealing with a difficult client. Just come back, slow things down and try and understand in more detail. A lot of people's bark is worse than their bite, isn't it? A lot of people just shout, but they don't do anything, they just shout. Sometimes they just need to let off steam if they're unhappy about something. If they're unhappy and they're expressing it to you, then they mean that what they're saying is find a solution for me, is what they're actually saying. And if they're saying find a solution for me, okay, because they're angry, they've got a problem, okay, they've come to you, they've taken the time to come to you to express that to you, then the best way to do it is just to calm it down, hear them out, let them finish talking, never interrupt them, ever. Let them finish talking, get to the end of it, and once they've got to the end of them expressing what they've got to express, say, right, okay, understand all your points here. This is really, really bad for us. Okay, I don't want to hear this kind of stuff. It's really sad that you feel this way. My job is to now make sure that you get exactly what you need so I can make you as happy as possible. Okay, that's what I'm going to focus on for the next 10 minutes. So let's just talk through this and work out what I can do so that you leave this conversation with me, Mr. Client, feeling a lot more relieved, a lot happier, and that you feel that you've got exactly what you were hoping to get in the first place. By letting them just finish talking and then telling them that you want to resolve the situation to their absolute satisfaction will calm people down. And then they'll become more reasonable. Then it'll become a conversation. And guess what? Then you'll have a happy situation. All right, guys, it's we've gone 34 minutes, a little bit further than normal. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the session today. If you've got more subject matters you'd like me to talk about with you, then let me know what those subjects are, and I'll gladly do them on the Facebook Live next week. As you know, we've moved the time to Sundays. Okay, it's 8 p.m. in Dubai, 7 p.m. where I am right now. It's 5 p.m. in the UK. What I want you guys to do is to make sure that this week you get out there and you have an absolute screamer. Get out and have a time of your life and make sure that you make it happen. I'll see you soon, folks. Take care.